Look, I shouldn't have told you the verse. Don't read it yet. Don't read it, NRH and Harkins. Okay, here's the thing. I think the devil changed this verse because most of us know a little saying that we think is actually in the Bible. It's not in the Bible. For instance, the saying that most of us have heard is, spare the rod, spoil the child. That's not in the Bible. Here's what the Bible says. Proverbs 13, verse 24. He who spares his rod, what? Hates his son. But he who loves him disciplines him promptly. Listen to me very carefully. We don't mind spoiling them just a little bit. That's why Satan changed the wording of it. But the Bible doesn't say if you spare the rod, you spoil your children. It says you hate them. In other words, I'm not saying you actually literally hate the child, but you're not bringing that child up in love. You're doing the worst thing you could do for a child. And then Ephesians 6, verse 4 says, and you fathers, do not provoke your children to wrath, but bring them up in the training and admonition of the Lord. Here's the reason I wanted to show you that verse. Remember it said, he who spoils the rod, he who spares the rod hates his son. It's in the masculine. And then this says, fathers, let me tell you how to train up your children. Okay, listen to me very carefully, men. The responsibility of discipline is on the man. It's on the man. Now, that doesn't mean in a single-parent home that a mother shouldn't discipline. It doesn't mean when the father's at work that the mother shouldn't discipline. Here's what I mean. If a father's in the house and the child disobeys, even if he disobeys the mother, the father should spank him. I taught my children, if you disobey your mother, you're going to get it from me. And I'm stronger than she is. And I promise you, you don't want it from me. I promise you. Now, I'm not talking about child abuse in any way, shape, or form. I am not talking about disciplining a child in anger. Not at all. But I am talking about that it is the father's responsibility, and that when there's a strong father, disciplining, loving figure in the home, it is the healthiest for a child. All right? So let me give you 7 things that I said to God years ago. Even though I grew up with a good father, I said, God, I don't know how to be a father. I don't know how to discipline. And the Lord gave me these things when my children were young. Matter of fact, before my oldest son was very young. And I put him in the bulletin because I felt like, again, this is a landmark message and you need this. And so you'll have these forever now. Number 1, be clear. Be clear. And let me give you 3 things under each one to explain that. Give clear instructions, give clear results, and give clear reasons. Give clear instructions, give clear results, and give clear reasons. Now let me tell you why. There are a lot of people that aren't clear in their instruction, and they get very angry with the children. For instance, I want you to clean your room. Then the child goes 2 or 3 days, doesn't clean the room, and then they're all upset about it. Okay. And I used to, Debbie is a little more general and I'm more specific. So I had to say, when did you tell them to clean the room by? Well, I just saw them clean the room. Okay, I understand that they should go ahead and do it. But children are weird. And so you got to be very, very specific. You'll need to clean your room by 6 o'clock today. Do you understand that? Do you understand? What time did I tell you to clean your room by? 6 o'clock. And what did I tell you to do? Clean your room. Oh, yes, clean my room. Okay, be very specific. For instance, one time I said to Josh, I went outside and he had thrown some rocks in the swimming pool. And I said to him, don't throw rocks in the swimming pool. Again, give clear results. If you throw rocks in the swimming pool again, see, I didn't spank him because I never told him throwing rocks in the swimming pool is wrong. Now, again, normal people know that. Children are not normal. So if you throw rocks in the pool again, you'll get a spanking. Do you understand? What will happen if you throw rocks in the pool? I'll get a spanking. Okay, don't throw rocks in the pool. I came out a little later, and he'd thrown the lawn furniture in the swimming pool. Okay. So I said to him, okay, son, look at Daddy. Don't throw anything in the pool. Don't throw rocks. Don't throw the lawn furniture. Don't throw your sister in the swimming pool. If you throw anything in the swimming pool, you'll get a spanking. Do you understand? Okay, so be clear in your communication. Clear instructions, clear results, Clear reasons, all right? And I'll talk a little more about reasons later. Here's number 2, be convincing. Be convincing. Get their attention, get firm, get control. Now, I want to say something about this. You can be firm without being loud. Volume does not equal authority. You know, matter of fact, many times I would whisper it. I would get down and I would kneel down beside him and I would say, you're disobeying right now. And if you continue to disobey, I'm going to spank you very, very hard. Do you understand what I'm saying to you right now? Do you want a hard spanking? Because I'll give you a hard spanking if you want a hard spanking. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you don't have to be loud, okay? But you have to be firm, and you have to get their attention. So you say, look at me. Sometimes I do this. Look at me. Look right now. Look at me. And just be very firm. And many times, again, not angry. I called Elaine Sugar, and I called my boys Buddy. And I'd say, look, Sugar, look at me. If you do that, I'm going to spank you. Do you understand what Daddy's telling you right now? What did Daddy just tell you? Here, let me tell you why. The goal is not to spank them. The goal is to get them to obey. So I don't want to spank them. I want to make it clear when they go in that room to get it, they know why they're getting it. You understand? Because I made it very, very clear. So here's number 3. Be consistent. Be consistent. Keep your guidelines. Keep your word. Keep your method. Keep your guidelines, whatever your guidelines are. Keep your word. And keep your method. In other words, I tried to do it the same way every time. And when I said a moment ago, give clear reasons, let me tell you what I would tell my children when they're growing up. Daddy doesn't want to spank you, but Daddy is spanking you because you disobeyed. Daddy's trying to teach you to obey. Here's why you need to learn to obey. Because bad things happen to people who do bad things. Not bad people, people who do bad things. And that's very important. In a moment, I'm going to explain that. Don't ever tell a child that he or she is bad. But he's a good child, but he did something bad. Okay? So I would say bad things happen to people who do bad things. Do you understand that? I'm teaching you to obey. If you were on the other side of the street and you were going to come across the street and I saw a car, Daddy saw a car coming that you didn't see, and Daddy said, stop. If you obey, then you'll be safe. But if you disobey, you could be hurt. So the only reason Daddy is spanking you is because you disobeyed. So be very, very clear and be very consistent with your methods, all right? Here's number 4. Be convicting, not condemning. Very, very important. Be convicting, not condemning. Remember the difference between conviction and condemnation. Condemnation is general, conviction is specific. Satan says you're a bad person, you're a horrible person, you're no good, you're worse than everyone else. That's condemnation. Anytime you hear that, it's coming from the devil.